This is a Headgum podcast.
Hello and welcome to Perfect Person, the show where I'm perfect and you're a person. Earlier today, I decided to not wear socks. And I wore Birkenstock snow socks in an effort to walk around and have my ankles be stankin'.
Yeah, and that's why we had to let Miles go.
That's correct. That's correct.
We said your time here is it's come to an end.
I pulled my grippers out and you said you have to leave the company immediately.
Well, and your Birkenstocks, let's just talk about them. They're kind of like half clogs.
They are, and I'll say that the biggest problem with these stocks is that you have to lift up the lip of the shoe. They don't hold form, Zach. They do not hold form at all.
Oh, it's like it caves
watch
in on
this.
itself.
Look at what's happening here. So this is, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm putting it on the ground, and it's folded in on itself. How do you think
your little toe in there?
So how do you think I'm dealing with this? I'm going to have to, there we go.
Snake your big toe in.
I'm going to snake my big toe in. And I may censor this for the for the episode.
Yeah, this is a little too.
And I got to get him all the way back on there.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Birkenstocks barefoot, but I'm a huge sandal and socks guy.
And that's sort of a style that I feel like was frowned upon, and then it got cool again.
Rocket Power really did a number on us.
Absolutely.
Do you remember Shoebies?
I do remember Shoebies.
I was terrified.
How shameful to be called a Shoebie.
Oh my God. When I was younger, it was like, oh fuck, this is the most despicable thing a person can do.
Yeah.
So much so that they have a name for it.
And I'll say, out of all those characters, you and I are that guy.
Oh, we're
Sam.
Squid?
Was it Squid?
Yeah.
I thought his name was Sam.
I think Sam and then Squid was his nickname.
Maybe, yeah.
You're talking about the blonde kid.
The blonde white kid with glasses. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Certainly we're not Tito's, I'll tell you that much.
Certainly we're not cool enough for that. Anyway, you can hear that melodious voice. It's the voice of my former boss, Zach Kornfeld. Zach, welcome to the show.
What's poppin'? Great to be back.
Yeah, happy to have you here. And as people are probably aware, I no longer work for your company.
Which means we could just fucking kick it, bro.
We could just kick it here, Zach.
Talk. I can say because I really censor myself around you.
Yeah, really. Yeah, you have historically always censored yourself around me. Not even around me. Not only just around me, but on mic. You're always censoring yourself on mic.
Partially out of like pride and happiness for you, and then partially out of pride ego.
Yeah.
I'm in my mind. I'm calling you our first graduate.
I like that.
I'm not saying you quit.
You'd rather I faded away somehow. Miles is now no longer with us. Yeah, I mean, I do think that, it makes sense that I'm a graduate because also I'm continuing to do things with the company.
Yeah.
And which is interesting. I have a bunch of exit interview questions that I want to ask you.
Of course.
Because obviously I have to conduct the exit interview.
Is that how they work?
Yeah, once you leave the company, you do a podcast. You didn't do an exit interview.
We didn't do an exit interview. I guess because you're...
I'm going to be here the next week. I'm literally going to record with you on Tuesday. We did a goodbye lunch, and I was like, I'll see you all next week. I'm coming in twice.
It was a good lunch, by the way.
By the way, Cuban food.
Yeah.
It was really funny because it was like, you like Cuban, right? And I was like, never before as a company have we had Cuban food. I do like Cuban food, but it was just funny to be like, Cuban, right? That's Miles'
kind of got a Cuban Joe vibe. Cuban Pete. The Mask. Cuban Pete.
Is that in The Mask? With Jim Carrey?
Cuban Pete.
Yeah. This is why I quit. But, so Zach, it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Yeah. You said that already.
Yeah. So actually on the Patreon Cold Open Native plug, we were just talking about this, and I think that it's actually interesting that the way our relationship has developed over the course of me working for the company, but also I think it is unique in that I have quit, but will continue to be working with the company in some capacity. And I guess the first question I have for you is, how did you feel when you left BuzzFeed to start your own thing? Because that's sort of the situation that I'm about to be in. This was like a hot ones question. I am about to start my own thing and kind of like spread my wings and post. Yeah. And you at one point also did the same thing. And were you nervous? Were you fearful?
I was really excited. I had no idea what it would become. And similarly, look, the reason you did this is because you went into your little Google Sheets to the best of your ability and you typed some numbers and you're like, I think I I think I can make a go at this.
100%.
And so you have some confidence, but that's based in just theories, right?
Totally.
So now theory's going to meet reality. That's really exciting. And
I'm going to crash and burn. I'll move back to North Carolina.
I mean, I think where I was and where you were, and I knew it would come, I had a feeling it was coming, was this feeling of like, I'm in a box, I want to spread my wings, and I can't spread my wings here. The only way to really do it is to be accountable to myself and only, and to just have that runway to go.
Yeah, and honestly, it's mostly just like the time commitment.
Yeah.
It was like, because like I feel like I was doing, like, obviously the Tripod's great. Obviously we do like candy competition. We do other videos on the channel that I enjoy doing with you. But it was just the time commitment of having a new baby, having a side business and a full-time job. And I had been burning it for so long. And honestly, we talked about it for a little bit. I sort of was like, hey, like, could we work out a part-time thing? And you were great about that. And you were like, yeah, like, here's what we could do if you were to be part-time. Like, you know, here are the responsibilities you'd have. And I kind of was just like, oh, I think I just want to remove my safety net a little bit so I just have the most amount of time I can have to attempt something new and then, you know, continue to do the stuff I enjoy doing with you guys as well.
I'll say, like, if I can self-toot a little bit.
Toot.
You know, you asked how I felt leaving BuzzFeed. It's I didn't want to, I was, how do I say this politely? I wanted nothing to do with them in the beginning, right? Because I was like, no, I'm doing my own fucking thing now.
Sure. Yeah.
And maybe a little like rebellious teenager vibe.
Sure.
But the fact that you do want to go off and do your thing and still continue hanging out with us, it says we're doing something right. And that makes me very proud and happy.
Of course. I think it's also like I'm sure it's the difference between working for like a corporation that's like, is public. I guess they're publicly traded now, right?
Yeah. Corporation
versus like we are a company, but it's still like you guys running the company. Like I know you personally. It's like a little bit different. Also, because I was there from the beginning, I kind of like, I worked so hard to kind of like build things up at the Guys. Like I have no intention of cutting this off of my body.
Especially the tripod. Like you built that with your two hands.
My two fucking bare hands. And I would say also like my audience here and my success in the internet is entirely devoted to like what I was able to build with you guys there. So it's like, of course, I'm very grateful for that audience and like that career growth and my experience being able to like go from someone that was like, okay, like I'm pretty sure I know how to use these cameras and like I do know how to record the audio, but like I don't know anything about EQ or editing, and to be able to learn on the job so much so that I now have like my own show and I have 5+ years of experience doing all that stuff is like, yeah, of course I have gratitude and also like want to continue doing things with you guys because like I think that, I don't know, they both can grow together in a cool way.
I'm very happy and touched to hear that. I mean, that is, I think, I wish we could replicate that more and more and more. And have you considered just devil's advocate here, burning the bridge?
Interesting. And now that's why, and I wanted to tell you everything I think is wrong with you. And I'm glad that you're here.
Because I think, look, just historically, like why I left tend to have a certain amount of vitriol and salt.
Are you worried that I'm going to really slander the company in my Why I Left Guys video?
I'm telling you that I think you're being too nice.
Oh, interesting.
And perhaps, think about yourself a little bit here and would you not stand to benefit from a little fuck them guys?
Well, I mean, look, here's what I'll say.
Zach's an egomaniac.
Yeah, Keith's insane.
Keith is never there.
I mean, I think it's also like...
Eugene took a shit on my desk.
He did take a shit on my desk. And he beat the shit out of Jack. But like, I think it's like... as we've learned, like, I slander you and then what happens? Like, I slander you, the video goes viral, it gets Newsweek attention.
Oh, yeah.
It's on the cover of TMZ, and then I'm nobody. Like, who gives a shit about me? Like, I'm just some guy that's like... So, instead, my attitude going into my Why I Left Guys video is, maybe just give, like, a little sauce.
Oh, okay, what's the sauce?
Well, I can't tell you.
What do you mean you can't tell me?
You'll see the video.
What do you mean you can't tell me? It's already come out by now.
If I was going to give sauce, it wouldn't be to one of the current owners of the company.
Oh.
Just a little tease. Just a little taste, because here's the thing. People come into that video, they're looking for sauce. If I give no sauce, they're going to be like, okay, watch time, and the video is going to be tanking.
So I am not your employer. I can't control what you say. I also can't comment on it.
Yeah, that's
so
for sure. Yeah.
if you want to give sauce,
yeah.
I can't control you. I can't stop you. And I'll just kind of sit here quietly for the next 2 minutes.
One of the ideas for the video is that I look up the definition of defamation just to make sure that every opinion I have is personal. And you can neither confirm nor deny that. Yeah. But part of the video, most of the video, what it will be is like, you know, a little bit of sauce, a lot of like the large swath of feeling, which is like, look, when you're at a place for a long time, you grow into a position, you're learning and you're learning and you're learning. And at a certain point, you stop learning and you just start executing and teaching. Yeah. And then in order to continue learning, you have to grow and possibly move elsewhere. And then also the idea is like, by doing this type of video, I'm able to announce to people all the new stuff that I've got going on.
Do you think I can release a Why I Left Try Guys on our own channel?
That's so funny. I mean, it's a good idea, honestly. It's pretty funny. I mean, what would you say? Hey, I didn't leave, guys, but I just wanted to say we have a great merch opportunity. It's just a fucking ad.
You asked what would I say, and I paused and it like got really real in my head for a second. I'm like, what would I say?
It's your company. It like makes no sense. Yeah, what would I say?
Oh man.
But yeah, I'm gonna shoot that hopefully tomorrow or the next day.
Oh, that's exciting. Do you need anyone to run sound?
Yeah, can you run? That's so fucking
Cut
funny.
to the wide, and I'm holding the
wide. That is so fucking funny. Oh my god! But we were talking a little bit about this on the cold open, but
natural plug.
But I am going to start making YouTube videos, and you asked me what I'm going to be making, and I have a lot of ideas for like how I'm going to sort of venture into that space. I mean,
ideas that conveniently he had the day after he left.
It's interesting.
Our company,
yeah,
which is crazy.
I was driving on the day after. It was right after 6 o'clock.
No ideas for the last 5 years.
It's so weird. Yeah.
Bam.
Boom. I have a surge of ideas. And as I was driving into the sunset, I sort of was like, okay, what do I want to make stuff about?
Yeah.
And you made a really good point, which is like, I'm at this sort of threshold where the podcast is successful. It's doing great. Patreon, doing great. My YouTube channel is not something, excuse me, that I have put energy into making. But it's this thing where like, I've put so much energy into learning how you guys make viral videos, learning how we do social media, learning how to do social media, all that stuff. And I'm kind of like, okay, I've gleaned all this experience from, you know, a little bit of time at BuzzFeed, a lot of time at Try Guys, and now I'm trying to direct that into like my own shit. And I'm sort of at the precipice of like, it is still infinite potential. Nothing has worked yet.
Yeah.
So nothing has worked yet or been attempted, really.
It's so pure. It's so exciting. And you know what? Hearing you describe it like that, it didn't occur to me before, but there is an additional purity because you have the base of this podcast.
Yes.
And I mean that creatively, but also financially, right?
Yeah.
This is doing well enough, thanks to the wonderful fans who are tuning in,
Absolutely.
that you're able to now call this your job.
Yes, right.
And so now the YouTube channel can be raw, pure,
yes,
fucking raw expression.
Yeah,
right?
no, totally.
And what we were talking about before is what inevitably happens is the sickness starts to infect your brain, which is a success-based sickness. And, when I do this, it performs a lot better. And when I do this, it costs a lot less. And when I do this, I make a lot more money. And it's you don't want to, you tell yourself again and again and again that you're not going to be motivated by those things. But then soon enough, you go, well, if I make a video a week, now I can hire an assistant editor and I can spend a lot more time with my family. And that's how it starts.
That's how it goes. I mean, my first idea for a video, I drowned myself with 100 million Orbeez. I start making like really bad challenge videos. No, that's not my idea. But no, I think that you're totally right where it's like, yeah, I'm very excited to try a bunch of stuff and none of it could work. And I do have the luxury of being like, oh yeah, this podcast is like doing well enough that I can take these risks. There's no real stakes there. Like the YouTube channel, you have whatever, like 20,000 subscribers over a lot of years of posting so all over the place sporadically that I can really attempt to try something and gain consistency. And I'm very psyched about that part. I think that like, that's the part that I'm like, it's the newest piece of what it is that I'll be doing.
And the fact that you're just you, it gives you a lot of freedom and flexibility to just fuck around and have fun.
Totally.
When I fuck up, it's like, oh, Jack can't feed his family.
His family.
Jack has 10 children.
That's
so
right. He has 10 kids. No, for sure. Like, yeah, like there's no financial risk to me making like a weird artsy video that flops because it's like, oh, that was fun to make, and I don't have any like I don't have any skin in the game.
It's exciting. I'll probably subscribe.
You fucking better subscribe, dude.
Here's the thing. Don't subscribe unless you're gonna watch. I'm gonna subscribe and I'm gonna watch.
Okay, yeah. 2 times speed or what?
Oh, at least 1.5.
At least 1.5. Well, because this is our exit interview.
Yeah.
What is something that you have you learned anything from? I mean, I've been at the company for a long time.
Yes.
Have you learned anything from seeing me grow or coaching me some of the things that you already knew about the industry?
Wait, what's the question?
Have you you had to kind of train me from scratch?
Yes.
Right? Like I didn't really know that much. Like I knew how to like run sound and camera kind of, but you sort of had to teach me how it is that we do what we do at our company, your company, not our company anymore.
Oh.
But did you learn anything through that process, or just from the process of like starting something new, having it grow, having it settle into experience? Is there anything you would change if you were to go back from the beginning?
I mean, there's a ton that I had to learn from nurturing creatives under us, and the biggest is this idea of replacing yourself.
Yes.
Bring people on, giving them your knowledge, but then also giving them the runway to grow and learn and make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's if you are just stepping in and correcting people again and again and again, they don't have the chance for that process to find themselves, to go through the same processes of learning that you had. Mm-hmm. And that has to be done with a really gentle hand. If it's too gentle of a hand, then like, okay, well, they're just flailing and failing. Mm-hmm. So you have to give feedback. You have to, talk about what's working and what's not working. But you also need to, let them fuck up and know that that's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I think something that we did well with you is that, because of the podcast, like you were really just given runway.
Totally.
In a way that honestly that few others have been, because like you had the podcast department kind of just became an entity unto itself.
It was described as a renegade department recently, I heard.
Yeah, you're like the Rogue One.
Exactly. Well, I think it's also like because of what my skill set is, like I am kind of a jack of all trades guy where like I know a little bit about a lot. So it's like if I need to make a fucking graphic, I'll just do it.
Yeah.
If I need to record like an extra little piece of sound effect, I'll just do it. Like I just have the capacity to do all that kind of stuff. So I think that I appreciated the runway and I was able to run with it just because of what my skill set like started as and stuff like that.
It's interesting to hear you ask the question though, because I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I don't really know that I get much credit for it. I'm like, yeah, you just could do a bunch of shit and we let you. Like, what did I don't know. Like, maybe I'm just not thinking about it, but what did I teach you? I don't know what I taught you.
What did you teach me? You taught me everything there is to know about being a man. Actually, I'm recalling actually a story of this isn't something that you necessarily taught me, but just from my experience, I was talking to Rainey about like how sometimes mistakes are really good. And it was because I remember I one time shot Eat the Menu, and I don't know that this was me, to be honest. It just happened, and I was like, maybe it was me, but I don't know. I don't think it was me, but I was there, I was on set. A card got formatted. It was the A camera for a ranking beers thing. Mm-hmm. The A camera got formatted. And I don't know how it happened, but like I was the person that was shooting and I like moved a card. And since that day, I have never formatted a card and lost footage ever. And I just like, I felt so bad. We had to reshoot, maybe was it B-Cam? We had to reshoot like some of it, disparate shots of this thing.
Was it also something where then Eugene did a bunch of voiceover?
No, that was because sound got fucked up. I was not on that shoot. I wouldn't have done that. No, that was like a different thing. But I just remember that experience of being like that chill that runs when you format a card and you lose shit. And like I've never ever formatted a lost footage since. It's
and you only get that learning if it's on you.
Yes, right.
I'm sure I'm doing myself a discredit by saying this. Like I'm sure I have taught you things, but I more look at it as we got to learn stuff together.
Totally, right. First time for you owning a company, first time for me being in that position.
Yeah.
We're both sort of being able to teach each other, learn things.
I think so.
Well, no, I mean, and honestly, I taught you
I bet.
everything that there is to know about me.
I didn't even know how to speak into a microphone. I thought I tried to lick it every time. And you're like, no, Zach, this captures sound.
Yeah, exactly. If you lick into it, it's going to be like an ASMR. Have you ever thought about doing one of those TikTok NPC things?
Yummy, yummy, ice cream so good?
That'd be really funny.
Yeah, I have thought about it. I mean, look, like back in the day, we used to like just obsessively check like what's trending this week, what's trending, and okay, this is trending, we got to jump on it. So if it were 2017, you better believe we would have done Try Guys Become NPCs or
right, for
and
sure.
I do miss that we don't have that turnaround, and I feel like maybe we could work that into TikToks or short forms, but we just don't have anyone doing that right now.
Football is back in full swing with another week of epic freaking games. And who's got you covered on the action for every single one of them? You know it's about to be DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can bet $5 on football and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Everyone who knows me knows I live a big show, and I love to place a little bet on the big show, and that's exactly what we're doing here. Nobody's missing out on the action this season. All DraftKings customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every game day this September. Get in on the NFL Week 2 action with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use code PERFECTPERSON to sign up. New customers can bet just $5 and take home $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code PERFECTPERSON. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort KS. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. If you know me, you know I love to sleep, actually. As soon as I'm hitting the pillow, I'm having a good time, and so should you be also doing. But as we get older, our responsibilities and challenges increase, causing stress levels to rise. Prioritizing quality sleep is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. Instead of lingering on your phone before bed, you gotta make sleep your simplest self-care routine with the Hatch Restore 2. Think of the Hatch Restore 2 as your bedside sleep guide, your ally in rest. The innovative all-in-one Dream Machine is a sophisticated sound machine, light, and alarm clock beautifully designed for your bedside table. I've got this puppy parked on my nightstand. Good rest allows you to be the best version of yourself, which is why the Hatch Restore 2 was engineered to help you form healthy sleep habits for life. Your Hatch teaches your body when it's time to sleep and when it's time to rise with light and sound cues. It coaches you through meditations and mindfulness exercises that transform the time before and after sleep into restful rituals. With a young son, sometimes I've got to be up at times when I still am absolutely tired. But luckily the Hatch Rest, it kind of lulls you awake. It shines its warm little glowy light. It plays nice little comforting, soothing sounds to slowly wake me up. Right now, Hatch is offering our listeners $20 off your purchase of a Hatch Restore 2 and free shipping at hatch.co/perfectperson. Sleep deeply and wake gently with the Restore 2. Go to hatch.co/perfectperson to get $20 off and free shipping. That's hatch.co/perfectperson. Shh. Sleep well. Yeah. Oh my God. Something I was going to ask you. Can I have the footage from Vegas?
Well, which footage?
We can cut this out if you do want me to, but essentially we shot 4 banger videos,
yes,
to which I was the main character.
Yes.
My big break.
Yes.
And then could not release them because of a casting error.
Yeah.
In those videos.
Well, do you know the backstory of that too? Oh, this is going to be way too saucy.
No, please. What?
Is that we were planning my bachelor party.
Yes.
And,
yes.
And
yeah.
I told explicitly what I wanted and what I didn't want. And what I definitely didn't want was Vegas.
Yeah.
And I made that really fucking clear by saying, like, I said out loud, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But someone decided we should do that anyway because I think they wanted to do that.
Yep.
And came up with this whole plan. And this was like during a COVID surge.
Yes, right.
Just the idea of like being in club. And I'm like, this is like, I told y'all what I wanted, which people got to see. It was like drugs in the desert with aliens and fucking sound baths and like hanging out with just my friends doing weird shit and getting stoned. That's what I wanted.
Yes.
So when I found out, it was all supposed to be a surprise. Actually, you accidentally spilled the beans.
Oh, fuck, yes, that's right, I did.
You were like, hey, man, excited for Vegas next. And I'm like, what?
Oh, my God, I'm such an asshole.
And it was also over my birthday weekend. They didn't check with Maggie to be like, hey, are you cool with us, like, taking Zach for 5 days on his birthday away? Like, it just was such piss poor, like selfish thinking. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I basically was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not comfortable doing this.
Totally.
And then the decision was made, well, we're going to do it anyway. Maybe it's for Miles, ?
Right. And I went to Vegas under the assumption that I was shooting a bunch of videos. And
that I was going to join later.
And Zach was on his way. And then the cameras turned to me at some point and were like, Zach's not coming because this isn't a video about Zach. It's about Miles. And then the whole thing switched. We had this crazy fucking weekend. We were there for like 5 days. Which
it was a long time.
By the way, too long to be in Vegas.
Too long.
By day 2 or 3, we were like, I have to get the fuck out of here. But we have like 2 more days of partying to do. Because we had so many shoots. We shot all around the city.
There was the videos for you. There was an Eat the Menu. There was a video that for a series that never came out and never will come out.
Correct. And we like met with these chefs, had all this fucking amazing food. I dapped up Pauly D, the DJ, at one of the clubs. We did like this unbelievable experience. And then we came back, and about 4 weeks later, maybe a month later, something like that, it was like, hey, not only are like, all these shakeups happening to the company, but these 4 videos cannot see the light of day.
Yeah. So we, in about January, we were, we had a lull on the channel, not that much to edit.
Yeah.
So I had our Elliot, I was like, hey, let's make a TikTok series or something or a video called Videos We Can't Release.
By the way, great idea.
And so he went in and he edited all of the things that we couldn't release, and we tried to figure out what to do, and he made them into TikTok. So we have like you and Keith going to Meow Wolf.
Oh, that's
we have
great.
All of these things.
Yeah.
And about every 3 months, I check in, and I'm like, I'll remember, and I'll be like, hey, what the fuck happened? Why hasn't this been posted?
Yeah.
And someone will go like, oh my God, my bad. Hey, okay, my bad. And so I brought it up again.
Yeah.
And they are getting made.
We got to get those out there.
Finally. But, 9 months later, which is just like, this is the thing. The bigger you grow, the more inefficient you get, right?
Sure,
like,
yeah.
That shit wouldn't happen if it were
just
you
me
making your stuff.
Smaller, there's less people to communicate with. It's me telling myself to post a TikTok.
I think something that we got right with you that I need to be better at is making people feel like what they're working on is theirs.
Yes, totally.
And instilling that sense of pride. Yeah. And, I'm in the middle of just trying to restructure our workflows internally so that people have that sense of personal ownership. But that's a really hard thing to do.
It also is like, it requires, not to toot my own horn, but
is it just fart and twinkle? Okay.
You talking to me, Willis?
It requires... It required bravery on my part because I also was testing the limits of what I was able to do in the role that I had. For the advice that'll go for my
segment,
I was bullshitting, but also like I made like the first time I kind of tested the waters was like I made a theme song of some kind. It was maybe the advice that'll go for Miles was the first time I did it, and then I made that documentary trailer, and then I like I kept sort of doing a weirder and weirder shit to be like, to get a rouse out of you.
Uh-huh.
And it just was, I was like, oh, they're not telling me no. Like they're like, I have to like be dumber and dumber. Like I have to like, add stupider and stupider shit to this show.
Yeah, the limit never existed.
Yeah, and it made me feel like I won. Like I was like really proud of the show as my work, but also that was like every week I was like, all right, I have to up it. Like I have to do something even better, which I think that is, I felt ownership over it because I was also testing the limits of like what was possible and never being told no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want this to be podcast fodder. I'm like, now that you're not there, what can I do better? Like what am I fucking up? But maybe we'll keep that off air.
Yeah, we keep that off air. Anyway, I'm trying to look at my exit interview questions. The phone lines are fucking ringing off the hook too.
Oh shit.
We've got to get to them.
Make it a double episode. I'll stay all night.
Hell yeah, baby. What is your to end before we get into the phone lines? What is
it's a 2-question exit interview?
It's a 2-question exit interview. What is like we've made a lot of great things on the channel together.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that like one of the reasons I also wanted to continue making stuff with you was that like Candid Competition was something that again like you involved me in early, and then slowly my role got increased, and now like we kind of I'm glad to be a collaborator on that show.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's your favorite thing that we have made together?
Oh my God.
At the company. And there's a lot of them, so it can just be one of them.
There's a lot of them. I will say on Candid Competition, on our Patreon podcast, natural plug, I said the other day that I only wanted to do one.
Yeah.
And then we sat in a
brainstorm. Yeah.
We sat in a room and it was like, oh no, there's like 4 really good, or like at least 3 really, really good episodes here. Okay, I guess we'll do a whole season at some point. It's just so hard because like I have no restraint. When we go into that, every idea
is a full video.
and the more it only gets funnier. It's like what you said with the podcast. Like the dumber you get, the funnier it gets, and the bigger it gets. So it's just so hard to cut yourself off from that sweet drug.
Yeah. It's a logistical nightmare because, we were like, okay, in order for this to be accomplished, we have to do these 10 other things that all have like rabbit holes and pitfalls. It's crazy.
It is like I have to go cold turkey because it is so addictive.
Yeah, right.
What's my favorite thing that we've done together? It's really hard to say. I mean, I have recency bias because being in body paint in public, like, really was a feeling that was hard to.
It's hard to match, but I think it also it ties into, I would say, one of my favorite feelings, of which the stuff that we've done together is that feeling of I can't believe that I'm doing this. I can't believe that like we're not being caught.
Yeah,
and I can't believe this is my job.
Yeah, it's just such a giddy feeling. I mean, I'll always love the first time that we cut to you in goth makeup because it was really organic. Like the way that it happened is we were like just talking in the office of like, how do we hide a thing? Right. And I think Sam Johnson was
it was like a choker.
And then boom, immediately it was like, okay, well, obviously you're going to be goth. Like I think that what we've had a really good run at is things happen organically and we just lean in so hard that it becomes lore. And that, the plug is also a favorite, and that was
totally
so organic. I mean, the fact that you and I and Rainey were able to hold down a podcast that originally had 3 other co-hosts, we fully replaced every part of that show.
Yeah.
And on the other side, came out the other side with a better show.
Yeah, totally.
And it just happened.
Yeah,
if we sat in brainstorms and tried to figure out what the best version of that podcast was, we would have never gotten there.
We just said yes when we were like, should we get coffee today?
Yeah. It was just, the answer was yes. And I think that, I know you've really enjoyed, like, you have an improv background, you've enjoyed doing that more and more lately. And that, I never really truly did improv, but I think that we engaged in some improv creation in our video creation, which is a rare and beautiful thing.
Totally, and got to improvise with real people, which is like the proposals, the hotels, like we're playing characters, we're improvising with true citizens of Los Angeles.
Yeah, also fun. I mean, the scripted openings around Candid Competition, which to this day I'm not sure if people like or just barely tolerate.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, right. But like those are so fun and like are things that I cherish.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know, a lot.
Yeah. We've had a long, storied career together, and we're about to freaking make it even better, Zach.
Woo!
And the phone lines are ringing off the goddamn hook.
Okay.
And obviously, you're on the show because you are a perfect person. You're here to help the people with their advice.
Not too bad.
That's right. He's wearing a yellow shirt.
I'd say it's green, neon.
Well, you'll be the judge. But
Your chair's yellow. This is definitely green. It's highlighter green.
before we get to the...
I just don't want to brush by it. I don't want people to think that I'm wearing a yellow shirt. I don't want to be misrepresented.
Before we get to the calls
Definitely
here,
green.
it's good to remind you that if you like this show, you can rate and subscribe so you don't miss a single episode on whatever platform you're listening
I
on.
would recommend in the comments of the rating you talk about the Miles doesn't understand colors.
And if you love this show, you can obviously join us on Patreon, where there's extended ad-free versions of every single episode, including this one, where we got a little bit deep into YouTube theory about my next little journey.
We luckily didn't talk about colors in that one
Yeah, we
because
didn't,
he would have
because-
fucked that up too.
Yeah, because it's sort of, I would say it's kind of seafoam yellow.
It's not. First of all, that's not a thing.
And as well as bonus episodes on Fridays where I get wild, wacky, and weird, and I call back people from the show to get their updates on how my advice has changed their lives forever. But Zach,
Yeah.
until then, we have got to get to the phone lines. There's one that's really inappropriate, but I kind of want to do a little starter one before that.
We don't work together anymore, so we can get inappropriate.
Really? That's interesting. Okay. I mean, now that you said that.
Hi, Miles. I really need your help to figure out how to tell future hookups that I can't eat them out because I have a lot of breathing issues and their pussy will suffocate me if I try. Thanks. Bye.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't want to be drowning in pussy, literally.
Oh, that's funny and also unfortunate.
Yeah, and so we're going to need to find this person a tactful way to let them know that they can't go downtown on their partner.
Hello?
Hello, thank you for calling Perfect Person. I'm here with Zach Kornfeld, and we need to help you.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, my God. Also, disclaimer, I am very high right now.
We absolutely love to hear it. Now, we're going to need to hear...
What kind of bud you smoking?
Yeah, very nice, Zach.
What are you toking on?
That's awesome, man.
I took an edible like an hour ago.
That's my desired method recently because I worry about my throat.
It's fantastic. As I mentioned in my voicemail, I have breathing issues. So smoking's never really been a great option for me.
Yeah.
Can I pause your show, Miles?
What's that?
To pitch. You're my target audience right now.
Here we go.
And so I want to know, I have a show that I want to make, and
Yeah.
it's probably going to get demonetized, but I'm just curious if you, stoned person, would be interested in this show.
Here we go.
Okay?
Okay. Give it to me.
It's called Smoke With Me, and it is you just go one strain at a time. So let's say like Purple Haze or Blue Dream, right? You've heard Purple Haze your whole life. So it's like, hey, I'm Zach. Today we're smoking Purple Haze. You show a close-up of it. You like have like doop, 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 little stats of it. I describe, like, it's very minimalist. I'm picturing white set, maybe no scoring.
Just to tell you how you feel. You just talk about how you feel.
Yeah, and it's like eat the menu, but it's one thing. And
Smoke the menu.
Yeah, it's smoke the menu, but it's only one item. And then I'm going to grind it up. I'm going to roll a little joint. I'm going to take a hit, tell you what it tastes like, see how it makes me feel, wait a little bit, then like try it in like a big glass like every episode I'll have like a different smoking apparatus.
Yeah.
See how that makes me feel. And then if it says like, hey, this makes you creative, be like, cool, I'm going to draw a picture, see what it's like. And you just get to hang out with me while I get high.
Honestly, that's a great idea, and I'm really wanting it to be a Hot One style show where you have celebrities and you smoke
Get
them
more
up
and more high?
and ask new questions every time.
I don't know your name, caller, but I'm curious. Does that sound of interest?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So not going to lie, when you said the title Smoke With Me, I was thinking it was going to be like an Eat with Keith, like live thing, but instead of like eating, you're smoking.
That's also a good idea.
That's also a really good idea. Now, we haven't given you a fake name yet, but your name is going to be...
Chandelier Jones.
Chandelier Jones. Shandy, we're so glad to have you on the show.
I've never had a better name.
That's right. And
I wanna
swim from the chandelier. Chandelier, tell us about your problem.
So I am several months out of a nasty breakup, and I'm getting back on the dating apps.
Yeah.
I haven't done this since college, because that's when my ex and I got together, late college. I've never really done dating apps with people who didn't go to my very small liberal arts school. When I'm back, something that I learned with my ex was that I can't really go down on someone because I can't breathe out of my nose, and the breathing that comes out of my mouth is already bad. So I end up not being able to breathe after 30 seconds.
It's like a pug, no?
I don't actually know, but maybe.
I just know pugs also have breathing problems. I've heard that when pugs...
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a solution to this problem.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But
okay.
But to answer it, I have a follow-up question, and it's a very personal question.
Whoa.
And I just want to make sure that we're all cool with this. Is without going down on your partner, are you confident in your ability to get her off?
There you go.
Yes.
There you.
Then that's all you need. That's all you need.
And just what's the technique of choice?
Oh.
Okay. What's my technique of choice?
Miles needs tips. Yeah.
Fingers. But I also do own a strap-on, and that has been very fun to use.
See, I feel like you've got the tools. So I think that probably though, letting them know in some small way that it's because of the breathing problems is not a bad idea. You know what I mean? So that way there's no expectation there. Especially I feel like for the first hookup, there's a little bit more leniency for how are we doing this nasty? You know what I mean? But for multiple occurrences, it's oh wait, this is something that she hasn't necessarily done. And I'm maybe now getting self-conscious it's about me or something like that. And no, it's because you're a little pug.
I can't believe that I have such strong feelings about this, but I'm I know exactly what I would do.
What would you do? Why would you say it?
Well, because here's the thing. You can't bring it up before, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you're out to dinner before you go back to your place.
We sit down for dinner. Sorry, I have breathing problems, so I can't eat your
You had way too much fun saying that.
Sorry.
It's a little presumptuous, right? If you come out the gate saying that, because then they're like, whoa, I wasn't even sure if I was ready to let you into my sacred chamber.
Yeah.
So what the fuck? If you wait to say it afterwards, then they're in their head the whole time.
Sounds like an excuse.
They're it sounds like an excuse, or they're while you're hooking up, it's maybe she doesn't really like me. She's not even going down on me. What did I do wrong?
Right.
It's going to potentially taint the experience, though I do think that's a better option than saying it before. What I think you do is you're kissing, you're hooking up, you're playing. I think I like a good laugh.
Oh, I love a laugh, by the way,
Love
especially
a
on
laugh when you're hooking
on a
up.
first or second hookup with a new
Agreed.
person. I think that it should be a little silly at the beginning before it gets a little serious.
So I think as you're hooking up and as you're getting hot and steady, you're I need to tell you something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You tell them, you're both going to laugh. And that is now charming and endearing. And you'd be but don't worry. I bet you $100 I will send you to heaven and back.
I will send you to Wild
Whatever
Town.
sexy stuff people say. That's where my
You gave some great examples.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that totally on the money. Embarrassing things, if you voice them in a confident, charming way, are really good.
I like to think that I do that. That is good.
You just be I have something this is ridiculous, but I need to tell you this.
I have breathing problems, so I can't fully go downstairs.
That said, I've got this, wiggle, wiggle, your hand, and I got this, floppy, floppy.
There we go, floppy, floppy.
And you laugh.
Should I mention that it's like a pug when I do that?
I think, by the way, adding the pug portion is going to be good for you because it leads people right to water, and baby, the horse is going to be drinking. You can say, I'm like a pug. You ever heard of them? They have really bad breathing problems.
That's what I think you want. That's the moment that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Is the moment where you laugh because you know it's ridiculous, and she laughs and she goes, oh, Chandelier is a cutie, and I'm going to let her fingers play me like a piano.
Oh. Play Beethoven's Fifth. No, I think that's right on the money, Zach.
This is perfect. This makes me much less anxious to enter the dating app.
That is what I
thrilled.
like to hear. Thank you so much for calling in, and you have a fantastic day, and you get out there and start not going down on people.
You get that, pussy girl.
Yeah, this feels like a fever dream. Thank you both so much.
Thank you for calling in. Bye. Never before we started rolling did I think that you were going to say, you go get that pussy girl.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Put that, hey, perfect person merch. We'll obviously give you a cut. Not to give you another sex question, but here we go.
I live in an apartment complex, and I had a threesome recently, and we forgot that the window was open, so the whole apartment complex heard me get banged by two dudes, and now everyone thinks I'm a whore. So, yeah, what should I do? Okay, bye.
Honestly, I just want to tell this person, nothing to do, baby.
Do it again.
Do it again. Leave the window open and give those people a show. I also I typically, I'm trying to close the window if there's going to be loud sounds coming from my home, close the drapes, etc. But
what kind of noises are coming from your home?
That's actually private, Zach. I guess you're no longer my employer. So it's just in bad taste generally, not legally. It's just a social faux pas, not a legal faux pas. Oh, goodness. Well, let's get this person to call back. I got to think my advice is just like, hey, they think you're a whore? Whores be whoring, baby. Keep enjoying yourself.
Miles?
Hello, you called perfect person, and I'm here to call you back about you getting banged by two dudes. I'm here with my former boss, Zach Kornfeld.
What's up?
Holy shit, what the fuck is up, you two?
I heard you got banged by two dudes at once.
Okay, Zach, you freaking pervert, actually. I heard you had two romantic entanglements with the window open. And I'm wondering, I'm wondering what you believe your apartment complex to know. Has anyone approached you about this situation?
Okay, so we have crazy neighbors already.
Yeah.
The neighbor right next to us, she and her boyfriend literally scream at each other. There was like 6 cops here the other night.
Yikes.
Right?
That's a lot
and
of
I walked
cops.
by and she was like, don't fucking look at her. And I was like, okay. And then the lady above us, she was coming downstairs and sorry, now is not a good time. I'm like fucking outside my apartment right now and my boyfriend's inside with his dad.
What?
Oh,
Okay.
no, wait, sorry.
Anyway.
No worries at all.
Should we call back? Should we do this another time?
Let me get in my car really fast.
Okay, get in your car.
You said your boyfriend's dad is over?
Yeah, so that's really inconvenient.
Your boyfriend's dad is over. And was your boyfriend one of the dudes?
Yes, so I do have a boyfriend, and it's kind of weird because we're not in an open relationship, but he likes to watch other guys bang me.
Hey,
I've heard of that.
hey, sounds great.
Now, people at home may be wondering how they can find themselves in a similar situation. So what advice would you have as a perfect person in training for people who want to bang a dude with their dude?
Oh, gosh. Just kind of be open about it. He was way more open about it when we got together. I told him, I'm going to love you, but I don't think I can bang the same person for the rest of my life. That's just ridiculous. I want to go out and have fun, and I just turned 21, and so I met this guy there, and when I say there, I mean the bar. Okay.
To be young again.
To be young again. Well, so you're in your car now. Your neighbor above you said something?
Oh, yeah. So I came outside and the neighbor upstairs was like, hey, by the way, just so you know, your window was open and you guys are really loud. And I, just want to let you know for next time to maybe shut the window and be quieter. And I was like, okay, yeah, no big deal, and then the people next to us, like I said, she and her boyfriend fucking fight all the time. But every time I'm outside, she gives me a dirty look and tells like her boyfriend not to look at me, and like she's kind of done the whole whore thing, you know, where you like cough and you call someone a name, like as I walk by.
She coughed and called you a whore? That's so weird.
Here's what's happening. Everyone is like, they hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah, literally everyone's jealous of you, to be totally honest.
They're so jelly, they might as well be peanut butter. It's unbelievable.
Everybody, including the old lady that lives upstairs, is jealous that you got railed by two freaking dudes. And by the way, what a weird thing. Like, to me, if this happened, I would just be like, it would make me giggle probably, like in a fun way. But it's like, I don't know why it would rock these other people's worlds.
Next door neighbors, like, you don't pipe me like that.
Yeah.
They're fucking jealous because they know that you got it.
Like, why would they be concerned with what you're up to?
That said, I definitely think good practice.
Close the window. Yeah, by the way, the advice is going to be close the window when you're getting, as Zach said, railed by two dudes.
I thought you said that.
Well,
maybe play some music.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. Terrible mistake on my part, honestly. And like my boyfriend was like, good girl, take that black and like, like we were saying stuff, so it wasn't just like the moaning.
Just a clarifying question. When he said, yeah, girl, get that black I believe you said, was that
Zach?
Was that his or the of the other?
It was the of the other.
Right, so he was saying, and then is your boyfriend black or not?
No, he is very white.
Right, so when so when he yelled out, "Get that," the assumption is everyone now knows
is aware. Everyone's aware of the multiple people.
There
in the
was
room.
a second in the room, or he just sees himself in a different way than others.
If they are sort of putting the clues together on their cork board, they're going to be aware that there was sort of hanky-panky going on in a trio.
Oh, most definitely. So after, they literally both took my dog out. They were like buddies. Like, they didn't know each other, but they started talking and like...
Nothing bonds people together.
By the way, nothing bonds people together like something like this.
I am so out of my depth right now.
I know. We are so out of our depth, caller. But we are drowning in the advice we're about to give. Sorry, continue.
So my dog needed let out, and I obviously had jumped in the shower after. So they walked outside, and we're taking my dog out. Other dude was in his socks, so everyone saw them outside after.
Oh, the other dude went out in his socks? That's so funny. Dude, like, go out in his socks and be like, wild night. Let's take this dog out of my little socks.
Literally, I felt like I was kind of on the back burner. Like, they're talking about guns and, everything fucking... I live in Idaho, so everything Idaho, And I'm just kind of sitting there. I'm like, okay, so, when are you going to fucking start banging me? Because they talked for a good, 30 minutes before anything happened. And then they talked for an hour after that had happened. So I was like, awesome, great. Now he's kind of, because he's mostly straight, but tomorrow we're having another guy come over and he's going to try and do some stuff with him too. So maybe, also a little more included, even though getting banged by two guys should be pretty inclusive, right?
Totally. I would say, yeah, that sounds like you and your boyfriend are having a great old time. Keep on keeping on. Just close that window. And if your neighbors are being nosy, well, I don't know if it doesn't make a nosy neighbor if they just hear you getting railed because the window's open. I don't know if it does, but their judgment is unnecessary and not needed. And for that reason,
I left a part out too. Well, our landlords told us to be more quiet and that if we get another noise complaint, because apparently the people, we live on it's like the outer apartment, so our window is right next to the parking lot. So someone who was going to their car told the landlord and was like, yeah, well, they're being really, at least they didn't call the cops on us.
This happens to Zach all the time.
I think, this is kind of a fool me once, shame on you thing. I think that maybe you have them smother your face with a pillow.
Okay.
Or
that's
to play some music. Play some music.
But then they're going to get noise complaint for the music. But I think I'd rather hear my neighbors, but it's got to be good music.
Yeah, I'd say you got to keep that window shut. And if everyone in the apartment complex thinks you're a whore, as you said, who cares?
Maybe
they
go to
suck.
you could go to their house.
You know what I mean? They're just nosy and they hate you because they ain't you. And they're not getting, for lack of a better term, dicked down.
I should be like, hey, girl, want to come over? Like, we're having lots of fun over here, you know?
There you go.
Maybe I could just do a complex invite. Be like, hey, anyone's welcome.
Hey, everyone's welcome. It's Sunday night wildness. Well, thank you so much for calling in, and have the most fun tomorrow, by the way. It sounds like you are living life with maximum potential. And tell your boyfriend what up.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I love both of your content. Zach, I know you just got roasted the other day on your video on this roasting. Yeah. Oh, I never watch it. I love your content, and I watch your content.
Thank
you guys keep doing what you do.
I appreciate it.
Thank
and
you.
Keep doing what you're doing.
You keep doing what you're doing, too. We're huge fans of it, and we'll talk to you later.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye. Wow.
I think she needs to pretend that she's playing the game Don't Wake Daddy. But in a sexy way.
A sexy Don't Wake Daddy. We have to be quiet. Otherwise, we're going to get kicked out of our apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's nothing sexier than the threat of eviction.
There's a certain point where if you keep getting noise complaints, you might be the asshole.
Too loud. No. She did say at the end, I was like, you've got noise complaints before for banging too loud? I think you might need to stop banging.
The issue.
Yeah, no, I think you might just need to know that you're in a thin-walled apartment.
Yeah.
And you need to have just a little bit of a less.
You don't have to scream.
Hey, when you're banging her like her boyfriend do, there ain't no choice but to scream, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've got one last call here, and it's this.
Last call already.
Hi, Miles. So I've been having the problem lately where people at my university are booing me to my face.
What?
And it's honestly kind of offensive, and it hurts my feelings. So I'm just wondering, how should I deal with that? I'll be back. Thank you.
Someone is being publicly shamed at their university, Zach.
Booing her to her face?
Yeah, that's so weird.
What if she's like, I wrote one article about why child slavery is okay?
We would hang up on her.
There is no way.
Hello. You called perfect person, and I'm here to call you back. I'm here with Zach Kornfeld.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing? I have to know why you're being publicly shamed at your university.
I'm really wondering that also. All right, here's the quick story.
Okay.
So I'm in my first year of grad school.
Okay.
And I just started at a new university.
Mm-hmm.
But the university that I did my undergrad at is rivals with the one I'm currently going to.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And so whenever I introduce myself and people ask me where I go to school, they have visceral reactions. And it's normally pretty rude. And even like the employees underneath me have started doing it.
Wait, so you'll be like, hey, I'm Pasta Janice, and I went to Pasta University, and they're like, oh, bro, or like, what do you
bring it up? Do you have to bring it up a lot?
Yeah, because people ask me all the time.
What do they give me? What is the question they ask you?
It's like, I didn't go to school here for undergrad, actually. And they're like, oh, where'd you go? And then I say it because there's like two main schools in the state that I live in. And for some reason, they're like complete rivals. And so, yeah, people literally will be like, boo, why'd you go there? They suck.
Oh, okay. So this is, and honestly, I'm so glad you called in. Because as somebody that went to I went to a state school, UNC Chapel Hill. We have a rival, Duke. And it does get heated. And one of the reasons, I mean, like if you were to hear it from my perspective in the fandom, UNC Chapel Hill is a public university, and it's like huge. Duke is kind of like a mini Ivy. It's a little snooty, etc. So people, like when we would do these big basketball games, everyone's just like, yo, fuck Duke, because it's like represents the bourgeoisie. We're the people's university. I'm sure they're just like, this is like these losers, whatever. We're like awesome, and we're actually really smart. But I think that actually what these people are doing when they boo you is trying to connect on common ground. Sports is a quick way for people to emotionally interact that don't know each other that well. The same thing is true for like Star Wars. You like Star Wars? Me too. Who the fuck doesn't? It's a giant franchise. You know what I mean? So like, I think that like these people are being like, oh, you went to, let's name 2 universities, Peanut Butter and Jelly University. So, oh, you went to Peanut Butter University?
Amazing.
Yuck, that sucks. Like what they're really doing is like teasing you in a way to get emotionally close with you right away. Because what they're probably expecting you to do is go, oh yeah, well like, I know, like whatever. It's just where I went for undergrad, but now I really like this. Like they're looking for you to do sort of a stock conversation. They're how's the weather-ing your interaction.
I see 2 options here.
Yeah.
One, you take it as an opportunity to go on their side and be like, why do you think I'm here now? What's up, motherfucker? Fuck peanut butter.
That's right, fuck peanut butter. I'm going to burn down the peanut butter building.
I only went to peanut butter as a spy.
Yeah.
They fucking, like, you think they're bad? You have no idea.
I took a shit in their union, yeah.
I spent 4 years with them crusty peanut butter fucks. They're even worse than you can imagine. You know, you meet them on their level.
You triple down.
You dap them up.
Yeah.
Or you become the greatest heel that school has ever seen.
That's right.
You say, goddamn right, I went to peanut butter, and they've got more integrity in one little millicube of their peanut pinky than you have in your entire jelly body.
Damn right.
And you become a supervillain.
Yeah.
I'd recommend the former.
Interesting.
Okay, I'm seeing the bright side. So people are trying to connect with me.
They are.
They're doing it out of love.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm guessing that you try and just shake it off as it ain't no thing.
Because it really ain't no thing.
Because I bet you're trying to be like, oh, yeah, it wasn't so bad. I liked it there. There's some good people.
Yeah.
And they're like, no,
but
rivalry.
Don't
Am I
respond.
right?
Yeah, don't respond genuinely. It's not their opinion's also not genuine.
Am I correct, though, is that you try and basically make it not a big deal?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I try and just brush it off.
Yeah, that's not what they want. They want to
No.
be like, this rivalry matters.
Yeah, you got to play
And
the game.
So it's like, yeah, play the game.
Got to play the game. Because really what they want is for you to participate. So when you don't participate, they're like, oh, huh? Like,
She is peanut butter.
oh, she is peanut butter.
You see, like at work and in class, this seems like it will work. But I'm going to be honest, the rivalry is within my family, and that's where I get the most backlash. Like, family members have cussed me out. Like, it's intense.
Wait, what do you mean?
Wait, what do they do?
There's like certain family members that are alumni of the school that I'm currently at. And when I was going to undergrad at this other place, every time I would walk into the house, they'd like ignore my existence and then start talking bad about the school I was going to.
What?
And one time my uncle like literally cussed me out and was telling me like how stupid of a school it is and how like academics and sports are bad. And now he's like trying to reconnect with me of like, now you go to the good school.
Your uncle has no personality, and I hate to say it. If people get that involved in a sports rivalry, it's because there is nothing else for them to latch onto. That is so psycho.
Just to be clear, like, we're telling you to play the game as a way for like just social lubrication, but like clearly, and I hope you don't mind me saying that your uncle's a fucking loser.
Absolutely, your uncle's a loser, and we really hate to tell you that, but that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Social sports rivalries are only meant to like instill fun into the sport. If it becomes something that's actually like harmful to your relationships, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
You're so right, though. Thank you for the validation.
Yeah, your uncle has other problems.
I think that you just engage with your uncle knowing that he a little loco.
Yeah.
And you do what you got to do to just make those interactions as pleasant for you as possible.
Yeah, babe.
Because you don't want to bother if this is an uncle you have to see all the time. It's not worth the emotional energy to like stand up to him. Like, fuck it. You don't need to. He's lost. He's gone. He's broken.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Just fucking
let it roll off.
Let it
roll off. You no longer have to put effort into that relationship. Congratulations. This is just something that's easy breezy, beautiful. You've coated yourself in freaking slick So every time he makes a comment, don't let it bother you. Whoop, I don't even care because you're not even a person to me anymore. I've done this sometimes to people that like, if I'm in like if there's like a friend group or something, there's somebody I don't like anymore, I am not going to actively dislike them to their face or to other people because that I find makes my life worse. What I'm actually going to do is just, I'm oil in their water, baby. I no longer am affected by the things they say, and I no longer need to put effort into that situation.
Okay. I admittedly can get defensive, but we're going to roll with it.
No, and by the way, I can get defensive too, but I've just found that getting defensive is not the key to what you want. Making a silly little joke and moving on, that's going to make your life a whole lot better, baby.
Or just saying the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Like
right.
sometimes it takes more emotional energy to not respond.
Totally.
Or to say something in defiance.
Yeah.
And the best thing that you can do to protect your own energy is to just say, "Thank you, Uncle Rico."
Yeah. You don't negotiate with terrorists.
Absolutely not.
Well, thank you so much for calling in, and I hope that your situation gets better. Just know that when people are trying to connect through a sports rivalry, they're really just trying to connect in a way that is low effort. Try not to let it affect you too hard, and thank you for calling in.
You're better than them.
You're well, easy, Zach. And I hope you have the most amazing night.
You too. Thank you so much.
All right, you're the best. Bye.
You're better than them.
Well, Zach.
Well, Miles.
It's about goddamn time for the final segment of the show. This is a segment we like to call Get Real. It's a segment where we force a genuine moment in an effort to learn more about each other and ourselves. Zach.
Yeah.
What is something that you have learned about your own sense of identity recently? Or something that you're working on? That like it could be a pattern of behavior. It could be a realization of the type of life that you want. But what is something that you have discovered recently that feels of value to you?
Oh, yeah. Sounds like the beginning of a really sultry song, and I went to lean in.
Really sexy song.
Girl,
I'm about to rail you with my friend with the window open.
when you with me, I'ma keep that window open. And the neighbors are gonna complain multiple times.
That's right, baby.
Yeah, I'm ruining your segment. How do I answer this? Can we start over? No.
It's all going in, baby.
What have I learned about myself? Did we get to the end of the track?
Yeah, I turned it around.
It's less something that I've learned, but more just a perspective on where I want to be and where I want to go.
Yeah.
The last year has been obviously quite hard and turbulent and a lot of changes in my professional life. And I do fear that when I say that and talk about that people think I'm drawing it out or complaining or whatever.
I'll tell you, dude, I would imagine it has been crazy fucking stressful.
Yeah.
And I've seen that in you, and I actually think you do a good job of hiding it.
Yeah. Well, thanks. And I definitely have spent a lot of emotional effort trying to instill confidence in the people around me to let them know I got this. And I think that sometimes trying to hold on to something prevents it kills it. It prevents you and your people around you from growing into what needs to change. And I've put a lot of effort into trying to maintain something for the benefit of the people around me. And I think that for my own happiness, for my own growth, and for what's ultimately best for the people around me, I need to face that uncertain road ahead and maybe learn a little bit from you.
Interesting.
Take that leap.
Yeah.
Try something new.
Wow.
What about you? I mean, here you are in the beginning of a journey.
Yeah, no, what is something I learned about? I mean, I think similarly, like I've sort of looked at the life that I have, and I'm kind of narrowing in on what I want it to be. And that's, again, like part of the reason I'm leaving. I'm turning 30 next week.
Old shit.
I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I remember when you turned 30, hundreds of years ago.
I don't think that happened.
But I know I was looking at my life and I was just like, I've been feeling a crazy amount of gratitude. Like, I think there's a lot to come, but I just am like, it's crazy that it's also nice to have the time indicator of like, okay, I just left my job. When I started the job, Sarah and I had just started dating.
Wow.
I had been in LA for less than a year. And I now have a wife, a child, my own business, and I'm working for myself. It's like kind of like that's been really crazy and rocked my world in a lot of ways. And I am getting closer and closer to the idea of like, oh, this is what I want my life to look like, and how I want to spend my time. And I think that's been like really valuable. And I also want to be careful that like, kind of like what you said, like I just got all this time and I am trying to, as slowly as possible, add these projects that I've wanted to do for like, 5 years. I'm like, I've never had enough time. I want to trickle them in so I stay unbusy. I don't want to flood in and I'm just as busy as I was before with a million new things. Like I want to, my son's really young. I'm like, I want to stay unbusy as much as possible, because I think that's going to allow me to be the most creative and grow really, really slowly and kind of hold on to it as much as I can. Instead of trying to be like, yeah, I'm going to fucking grind every day and grow as big as possible. And like, yeah, I want that stuff too. But I just think that if I do it slower, I'm going to get what I want more out of it. I might not get like immediate validation as soon as possible, but I'm going to be happier in the long run.
Yeah, I think it's really important to keep that perspective of why am I doing this? What does happiness look like for me? What do I want out of this? And it's easy to get swept up into what you think you're supposed to do instead of what you want to do.
Yeah. I'm going to do a whole lot of what I want to do in this studio.
Cocaine?
That's right. And that's why I'm selling cocaine to everybody on the Patreon. Zach, thank you so much for doing the show.
You piece of shit.
You fucking piece of shit.
Motherfucker.
You motherfucker.
I didn't wait in 5 years to tell you
that was a piece of shit.
That I don't like you.
That's right.
I don't respect you.
You never liked me. Yeah, I know.
And I wish you
the worst.
The worst.
Yeah, I knew it.
I hope this. I'm gonna burn this studio
I'm gonna
down.
burn this studio to the fucking ground. Zach, I appreciate you doing the show.
Absolutely.
I'll
see you Tuesday.
I'll see you Tuesday. That's the funny thing about this. Is it's like, yeah, I'm fucking leaving my job, but I will see you Tuesday, and I'm also gonna be on Friday.
Hell yeah.
Training someone.
Well, we wish you the best, and we're excited to watch.
Sick, man. I appreciate it. And to everyone out there, just remember that no matter how big your problem is, perfection is only a call away.
That was a Headgum podcast.